Welcome back into Sports Connection. Joining us now is the Allen County-Scottsville Lady Patriots softball squad. We got head coach Mr. Brad Barry Bonds over there. We got Addison Osbrooks, Peyton Hawkins, and Miss Brooklyn Oliver. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Thank you all for joining us. Coach, we'll start with you, man. Y'all are killing it so far. 20-2 so far on the season. Had a few cancellations, obviously, due to the weather out there. But, what is your assessment of this team so far, especially, coming off last year, dealing with a lot then, and now you all are just, soaring right now. So how do you feel about the team right now?
Well, last year, like you said, we had a lot of injuries, and I thought our kids did a good job last year just in the situation that we were in. And I think a lot of times you can look back and know that it helped us prepare for this year. We've played well. I don't know that we've actually put a lot of games that are complete games together. Offensively, we've done what we were supposed to do. Our pitching staff has looked really good so far. So I'm very pleased with where we are at the moment. I think we're really deep. We can run a lot of kids out there in a lot of good situations. And so I'm very pleased with where we are at this time.
Peyton Hopkins. Batting 500, 9 dingers. That means you hit it out of the park 9 times. Could have been more, from what I hear from some other girls that went to the Gatlinburg trip. There's some pretty deep porches down there, so you might have had more than that. But how's the season in your words?
The season's going really good. It's really fun. I'm glad to be back with my team from my setback last year. It's good to be back. I'm good to be putting in the work in. So yeah, I'm just really excited.
Since you mentioned and Coach mentioned you all having injuries, I think all three of you all were injured at some point last year and had to miss some time there. Just kind of battling back and being able to come back from that. How's the team, chemistry and mindset been, knowing that you all were dealing with a lot last year coming into this year?
I think we came in really close with each other this year just because we went through that together. And so we came back stronger. We came back with a closer relationship, and that makes it better on the field.
Addison, do you share the same sentiment that Peyton shares?
I actually wasn't on the team last year. I was the one that cut out a little bit. But coming back in and knowing where they were last year and me being able to come in and help put our team back together, I feel like it did indeed make us a lot closer and be able to bring us back together.
Brooklyn, south side of Brooklyn up there. 73 strikeouts. We like to call them Ks. That's pretty good stuff. And I think your ERA is 2.1, and you got 3 home runs, batting 300 or 400. I mean, is there anything you can't do on the softball field? Tell me about this team.
I love this team. I think that especially last year with our season being how it was, everyone came this year, and I feel like everyone wants to be there and everyone wants to put the work in to be good and to be as good as our team can be.
Coach, did you have to kind of instill that in the girls, or did they instill that in themselves? I mean, I believe this entire team, that has at least 25, at-bats is hitting over 300, and you all have been going through this, and you're all very young, did you kind of have to instill something in them, or did they come in, like you said, ready to work, ready to go and put in that work?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think they had a mindset where they were going to come in and put the work in, right? And as a coaching staff, you're very thankful to have kids that are mature enough to understand the process and understand what's at stake and what they have to do on a daily basis. What we have done is we've given a lot of kids an opportunity throughout the entire season. We substitute a lot throughout the game, giving kids opportunities to be successful, opportunities to continue to put at-bats on the board. So with that being said, if something were to occur late, you feel very confident about mixing some things up and getting kids into the game that have experience in certain situations. So very pleased with how we've done that and how the kids have responded throughout the year.
Addison, how much have you enjoyed this season to this point? Because you guys have won 11 straight. That's pretty awesome. And like Caden alluded to, some rainouts and some missed games could be better.
I feel like it's been a lot. A couple years ago, we weren't the best. Our team bonding was not there. And this year, we've bonded a lot, and we're all super, super close. So being able to know that, we all have each other's backs during the game, even if we lose, it's, I don't know, it's heartwarming because you look at each other and you're like, that's my girl. And then it gets us through the game. It's just so much fun.
Great answer.
Peyton, you are a sophomore. Brooklyn, you're a sophomore. Addison, you're a junior. So you all are really young, playing in a tough fourth region. You know, I believe you're 10-1 so far in the region. The only loss is your 2A loss earlier this year. You know, do you feel like the competition that you've faced so far this year has kind of, you know, built you up and prepared you not only for your tough district, but, you know, hopefully, you know, a tough, you know, district tournament and region tournament?
Yeah. I think we have came out strong. Like, we've played good competition like Greenwood. That was a tough game, but we pulled out strong. And Barron County, we pulled out strong with the win, and it took a lot out of us, and that will like prepare us for the district coming up, which is going to be tough to beat Barron County twice, as we said. But I think we have a good chance at it, and I think we'll be really good.
Coach, every coach, I think, wants to have a team that gels good together, that wants to be out there together. That's half the battle, isn't it? Can you see that? You know, can you see that in this team? What Addison was describing.
Absolutely, I've seen them really come together and get a lot closer as a group knit. Very pleased with that, and you know that's just going to be positive moving forward. You know, as we go into this little stretch that we had. You know, I really felt like at one point I questioned myself: are we peaking too early? And then you kind of had the weather coming in, and we've not played as many games here lately, and you got a lot of district games late, and you kind of worry about, you know, are we going to be able to pull that together? But then I sit back and I think about what these kids have already been through and the hurdles that they've already been over, and very, very optimistic about what they can do for this team.
Brooklyn, you and Addison both in the circle there. You know, just kind of describe, you know, not only your all's relationship, but, you know, the relationship between the entire pitching staff.
I mean, I think it's really nice, especially like I have Addie, so like if I'm in trouble, Addie can come in, or if Addie's in trouble, I can come in for her. But like if Addie's pitching, like it allows me to go play first or the outfield, and I have like other things that I can do instead of just pitching.
Addison, what is something that you excel at that, or you feel like you don't excel at that she excels at, and vice versa there?
I feel like we're both two different pitchers completely. I feel like she has more of the speed, and we both have movement, but I feel like there's a big difference in spin and movement between us both, and I feel like it lets us divide and come together even with our other pitchers.
Peyton, can you hit them both?
I have.
What's it feel like, just, I mean, when you hit that just creamer, I mean, to left center, and you know it's gone? I mean, how good's that feel?
It feels so good. It's a good feeling. It's one of the best, yes, I will say.
I love it.
All right, we're coming down to the end here. Anybody can answer this question. I always like to ask just to get to know people. You know, who is who do you think is the biggest trash talker on the team? Or who talks the most trash in the dugout?
JC.
What does she say in the dugout? That like, does she talk to other teams? Does she talk to y'all? Coach, what is it like, you know, with the dynamic of the team and everybody being able to come together and joke with each other?
They're a lot of fun to be around. I love this team. You know, we've been together for several years. You know, we've been playing a lot of these girls since 7th and 8th grade, and you know now they're the upperclassmen, and they're a good group of kids. They're great in the classroom. They love playing for each other, and for me, that's really important. And very, very pleased with where we are and where we're going, and hopefully good things can continue.
Lady Patriots.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for joining us. Hopefully, you know, you can get some games in. Hopefully the weather will hold off here. You can get some district games in there, but appreciate you all for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We have more Sports Connection right after the break.